But my thoughts on the matchmaking, this is not rocket science, is just have a little checkbox. Very, very simple. Checkbox saying, okay, I want to open myself up to be bamboozled by Champion League players, fine. Or you want to limit yourself to silver, gold, whatever. And if the queue times become too long, then they can uncheck it, right? That's it. There's option. It's not it's not like you can only have one opportunity to choose, and then you're stuck with that choice forever. Hey guys, this is Village here. This is going to be a little bit different than my usual videos. Again, I am not at most you can call me as a warrobots content creator. I actually do enjoy playing this game despite all its flaws and issues. The issues such as hackers, glitches, bugs, overpowered weapon upon first release and then nerfing it later on. And of course the issues of, the having the entire player base, at least the paying player base, invest actual money into a drone system, having the game become reliant upon that, and then to completely pull the rug from underneath, getting rid of what the players have invested financially. I won't say time, because this isn't the time, it's a finance thing, into the drone system, and giving what appears to be very poor compensation for it. That said, I am in favor of the drone rework. I'm actually in favor of getting rid of the drones altogether. I don't think that it really has a place in this game. But I guess that's a whole different soapbox. Again, I have the same feeling about pilots as well, even Titans. I don't think there's a need for Titans. But it's not my game, it's not my company, and I'm just a player in it. And again, despite all the flaws, I do enjoy it for the most part. For me at least, it's a fun way to de-stress as I kind of kick people's butts and sometimes get my butt kicked in this game. And so it's a good interaction. The reason I'm making this video really is about matchmaking. It has always been an issue. I've been playing this game for the greater part of about 6 years. I did take a few years off. And matchmaking back then was bad. It continues to be very, very poor these days. And I'm sure that's because Pixonic never really tried to address it. We have a couple issues. This is really isn't a skill-based tier. It's just basically with equipment. What kind of robots you have, what kind of weapons you have on that, and other supplemental things like modules, pilots, wherever you're able to invest, sadly mostly money, into this game, allows you to elevate your equipment and then do more damage, have increased survivability, etc. So the more you play and the more you win, you start to accumulate these cups, these ranking points basically, and then Pixonic kind of slots you into where it believes you belong. Now, the system itself is fine, in the sense that the more you win, the higher up you should be. That is absolutely fair. The problem is you have new players coming in and really, really old, I mean not by age, but like in terms of experience, or those who've been playing for a very long time, old players that have accumulated a crap ton of gear, and then when you mash the two together, there is a chasm, a great divide, not only in experience but also equipment level, and there's absolutely no chance. For instance, in this particular game, I came in second place, no thanks to Naughty, but this is how the game rolls. Zod here has a pretty much full-on meta hangar, right? Lots of anglers, one nether. That's a lot of yeah, it's very exciting gameplay. I'm not trying to give him crap. I'm just teasing. It is what it is. This is just the way it is. And then we have Naughty here. Relatively new, by the way, 1,400 wins only. He's only got one hangar. I have a feeling he's a returning player of some sort, because he seems to know what bots to get and go straight to it. I didn't have to experiment around like most new accounts would be, right? So that's that. But in any case, the hangars fit, aside from this Gothic Mars, which has not even a Mark II Weber. Everything else fits Champion League play. Okay, and as we move on, we have sliced bread, 4707. As we're dissecting sliced bread's hanger, the weapons aren't quite there. The weapons are pretty good. The Ether Titan is not fully maxed, but the weapons are. So part-time spender. Masters 2, I'd say should be more Masters 3 instead. This is borderline Champion League hanger, but it's okay. And then we have, wrong guy, sorry. 30EU4M. 5,000 wins, been playing this for a bit. Oh, sorry, the other one I'm in Masters 1, not Masters 2. I think you started the higher. So the lower Master 1, you're closer to Champion. That's what I mean for the other player. Here we have what I consider a fully stacked hanger. And this guy really doesn't belong down in Masters at all, given what he has. Now, he could be a returning player, which I don't think so, simply because he's already got the Karura Lance and Glaives, and so he's got 5 hangers, so this guy's spent. Oh my god. Yeah, this guy doesn't belong down in Masters, and this is why, this is what upsets people at the lower league. When you run into a hanger like that, if you're, expert, and you run into that, it's like, what do? You just throw your arms up. But here we go, the Herok, 4123. This guy does have 5,000 wins, but he has 1 hanger. So he's been playing this game for quite some time. I'm not saying he's completely free to play, but he is. This is what I consider winning, guys. I'm not poo-pooing this hanger. I'm actually applauding this guy being able to enjoy the game, level up whenever he can, with whatever finances he's willing or able to invest, if you want to call this investing, into this game. So this guy Masters 3 is clearly where he is supposed to be. This hanger does not belong, at least at the level, none of his bots are Mark 3. The highest one is his Fenrir at level 4 Mark 2. This hanger belongs in Masters 1, 2, and 3, most likely between Masters 2 and 3 segment. Why is matchmaking setting him up to be like decimated here in my Champion League play? Well, if you're wondering what level I'm playing at, I think those of you who've been watching me long enough know that I'm up in Champion League, right? Okay, this is my hanger. Why is the Herok even being shoved into this group? He doesn't belong. I'm not downplaying the guy, and I bet you, if anything, if we give Herok a max meta hanger, he'd be kicking ass. But that's not his style. He just enjoys playing the game, and that's great. But he should be able to enjoy the gameplay without having to be blown out by Champion League players. And this is what I like to propose. Well, sorry. He should be able to enjoy the gameplay without being blown up by Champion League players. And it is situations like this where I can see a lot of people get discouraged. Like when you're in Masters 3 at 4,100 cups, you don't expect to be matched up against somebody who's 5,000 plus, let alone 9,000 where I'm at. And it's impossible for this hangar to survive. It's not a skill thing, it's just an equipment thing. So when you're up against that insurmountable mountain, I don't think the gameplay is fun at all. It's not. I've been there before. Way back when I started playing, I was like, holy crap, I'm getting one shot, like a blink of an eye, I was dead, right? So my proposal for Pixonic is, why don't you have a checkbox in your menu system to say, hey, do you choose to open yourself to being matchmaking, right? Match made into the whole array of the leagues? You want to restrict it to one above, one below? Or do you want to restrict it to just your league, the Masters, or Expert, or Gold, Silver, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it? And that way, if you check that you only want to be playing in Masters League because your hangar really doesn't go higher than that, then you never get stuck with people again. You never get stuck fighting against people like me and the other players up in the Champion League. So we won't be making your gameplay less fun. And I think that's a win-win situation, simply because players will enjoy the game more, less likely to leave. And as they enjoy the game the way they do, even if they're small time spenders, they're spending. And it's a win for Pixonic, being able to keep the player base and still make a few bucks here and there from these players who are invested in the game. It's also a win for players like myself who do not enjoy clubbing baby seals. I mean, I like a challenge. I hate losing, but I like a challenge, right? I like to be able to say, okay, I have a meta hangar, we're relatively evenly matched. I want a good challenging game. Yes, it pisses me off to lose, but I rather not have to walk over hangars like Herrick right here in order to win. It's just not that fun. It's more fun for me to say, hey, I actually made 15 kills, 17 kills against nothing but Champion League players with meta hangars. And that to me is like, dang, I'm pretty good, right? And if I get walked over by another championship, meta hanger, which I have, by the way, there's a number of players out there who are very capable, and I've been on the receiving end of that. All I could do is throw my hands up and say, you got me, good. But at least that's the fun part, and I don't have to feel like, well, that was kind of stupid. I just spent 5 minutes, 8 minutes steamrolling people. And this is an FFA. So in like Beacon Rush, Domination, TDM, that applies even more because you have people squatting, and then it's never fun when you're in a group of randoms and you're matched up with a full squad from an S-class clan, right? Super meta bots, and you're coming in, and the Beacon Rush game only lasts 2 minutes. It's like, yeah, that's not fun for me. Like, I'd rather spend 2 minutes sitting on the toilet taking a dump than to get bamboozled by people with lots of equipment. And when you squad, you get additional bonuses. Like, and that part of the game is designed to beat people up. Now, I'm digressing here, so I need to bring the focus back to matchmaking. Pixonic, if you're able to just make a little bit of check boxes, give the player options, right? If you opt to get your butt kicked, steamrolled by opening yourself to full league matchmaking, hey, your queue lines will be shorter, but there'll be times where you get rolled. And if you want to play safer, go ahead and check it where I just want to be restricted to my league, and there's less likelihood of you being bamboozled. Now, I know what you guys are saying. It's like, well, what about the tankers? The tankers are going to get down there, they're going to check that checkbox, and then suddenly it's like they have full meta hangers but kicking butts in Master League. True, but remember, with the games, if you're winning, you will eventually get kicked beyond Masters League into Champion League. So the tankers still have to tank at some point, right? So they're going to have to tank, and the games that they're tanking, well, you get to win against them. If they're not, what's the difference now? Right? These guys are tanking anyways. The tankers will always tank. They are tanking at this very moment. Even if you put a box to restrict it, they're still going to tank because they don't want to come up to Champion League and get their butts handed to them. These are people who can't handle challenges, people who like things easy. So it may not solve tankers, but at least it provides I think a better setup for non-Champion League players to be able to enjoy the game and slowly move on towards into Champion League, right? And those of us in Champion League, we stay in Champion League. It doesn't really matter to us. Maybe the queue time's a little bit longer, but that's a pixonic problem where they need to find ways to keep the Champion League players happy. One, by not making stupid, overly overpowered weapons upon release and then nerfing it, and two, by doing things like set up a drone system, a drone economy where you now make the player base reliant upon and then pull the rug from underneath them. I mean, you're gonna piss people off, so don't do that. You keep your Champion League players happy, they'll keep playing, they'll keep spending, you're good. But I think the poor matchmaking is what's driving a lot of new players away. It's whittled down the player base. I think to a certain degree, yes, there was always going to be new players, but why not? I mean, unless Pixonic has such issues with server capacity where they feel like they can only really service 1 million accounts, 5 million accounts of that they can't handle 10 or 20 million, and that's a possibility. I don't know the hardware part behind it, but my thoughts on the matchmaking. This is not rocket science. Is just have a little checkbox. Very, very simple. Checkbox saying, okay, I want to open myself up to be bamboozled by Champion League players, fine. Or you want to limit yourself to silver, gold, whatever. And if the queue times become too long, then they can uncheck it, right? There's option. It's not like you can only have one opportunity to choose and then you're stuck with that choice forever. I think it at least would be slightly better than what it currently is, if not much, much better. So that's my thought. If you made it through this entire video of me rambling, congratulations. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I love you guys for watching my content. Appreciate and respect those of you who actually watched through the entire thing. And I'll catch you guys on the battlefield. Peace.